Hello Jaydon, this is going to be your video lesson for today. I see that you're away. I hope you're not feeling sick, and if you are feeling sick, I hope you're feeling well ASAP and it's you're only feeling under the weather for a day or two and that you're back to good right away here. If you see me looking off to the side here, that's just where my computer is, and I have your lesson plan pulled up. So I'm just gonna start at the top and we'll go through every item together. So take a quick second, grab every song that you need, every book that you need, and make sure you have, I guess you don't need your lesson plan up in front of you, don't want, because I have it here, but make sure you definitely have all your books, because we'll go through everything. Okay, let's bring this down. So the first thing on our lesson plan, there we go, that's a bit better, is our scales. And we were working on the B minor scales today. So we looked at B natural minor and B harmonic minor. Let's review. So for B minor, we have a key signature of 2 sharps, and they are F sharp and C sharp. And just a quick reminder, that means it's the relative major of D major, because D major also has F sharp and C sharp. So that's what that means, relative major and relative minor. It's the minor key and the major key that have the same key signature. So that's why they have that relationship. So let's just do B natural minor. All we need to worry about is our F sharps and C sharps. And let's start with the right hand. So unfortunately, my friend, my camera cuts off right about here because, well, that's just the only place I can have it. If I put it like this, it doesn't really stay. So I'm going to start the right hand. Everything I play with right hand, I'm going to play lower. I want you to just play it where you normally would, around middle C, but I'm going to play it lower so you can see it. Okay, so here we go with our right hand. We're going to do B minor natural to start. So you're starting with your thumb on B. I'll say the finger numbers as we go. Just remember to have F sharps and C sharps. So here we go, starting with finger 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger 1, 2, 3, tuck 1, 2, 3, 4, tuck 1, 2, 3, tuck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 goes over, 2, 1. 4 goes over, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1 at the bottom. So hopefully that was all right, but if there are any questions, just make sure you make a note to ask me, and remember to ask me what you weren't sure about. Let's do left hand now. So we're going to start with finger number 4 in our left hand. So get 4 ready to go on B. And you might be wondering, why do we start on finger 4? So we did talk about this last week, but just a reminder in case you forget, it's because when we're playing scales, we don't want our thumb to land on black notes just because it's really, really hard to do your crosses over and under. So if we started on finger 5, it would end up with our thumb being on a black note. So that's why we start with finger 4, so we avoid that because it's really, really uncomfortable. So starting with finger 4 in the left hand, let's get ready and do the same scale. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross 3, 2, run. Cross 4, 3, 2, 1. Going down. 2, 3, 4. Cross 1, 2, 3. Cross 1, 2, 3, 4. Cross 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so hopefully that went well, but like I said, make a note if you need to ask any questions. Let's look at the difference between natural minor and harmonic minor now. So we know that we only change 1 note, and it's the 7th note of the scale. So let's start at the bottom with B and count up 7 and find what that would be. So B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A. So A would normally be the 7th note of our scale, and we want to raise it a half step. So do you think that would be A sharp or A flat? Say your answer out loud. Hopefully you said A sharp. If you didn't, that's okay. So just remember, sharps are going up, flats are going down. Think about the word too. If you forget which is which, just think about which sounds lower. Something that's flat probably, right? Because it's like being flattened or being squished down. So flat means going down, and sharp, it kind of sounds like whoop, sharp. It's going up a little bit. So let's look at, this is B harmonic minor. The only difference is we're going to swap out A for A sharp. Nothing else changes. We keep our F sharp and we keep our C sharp. So I'll do the same thing. I'll start down here for right hand. Just listen once. I know I'm just doing 1 octave to demonstrate. So here we go. We'll do the same scale the harmonic minor scale. Right hand, 2 octaves. I'll say the finger numbers as we go. Remember A sharp. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger 1, 2, 3, tuck. Oh my gosh, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger 1, 2, 3, tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4 on A sharp. 1, 2, 3, tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4 on A sharp. 5. Go down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Crossover. 3, 2, 1. 4 on A sharp. 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1 at the bottom. Alrighty, very nice. Let's do that on our left hand. Remember, start on finger 4. Here we go, left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finger 4, 3, 2, 1. Big stretch. 4, 3, 2 on A sharp. 1, 3, 2, 1. Finger 4, 3, 2, 1. Going down. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so those are our harmonic and natural minor, B minor harmonic and B natural minor and B harmonic minor. I don't know why that took me so long to get out. So now we're going to add something new to your technique this week, so you have something new to practice, and that's our B minor triads. So we've done triads before on our major keys, C major, and we did A minor too. So let's just remember what a triad is. All it is, my friend, is you're taking the first, the third, and the 5th note of your scale, and you're making a chord out of them. So our first note is pretty easy. We know it's B. For sure, we started on B, so it must be. Now let's find our third note, not C sharp. D is our third note. Not E, but, ooh, it's a black note, F sharp. So our B minor triad is B, D, and F sharp. So now let's just go over the triad pattern and make sure that's still fresh in your mind. So we'll start with right hand. Our first position is going to be B on the bottom, D in the middle, and F sharp on top. Now for triads, just a quick reminder, all you're doing is you're taking the bottom note, which in this case is B, and you're flipping the chord upside down. So our next position, you're going to have the B on top. So watch my hand here. I'm playing my first position, and now I'm going to keep these 2 notes and scooch my hand over and put a B on top of it. Now, the only thing we have to add here is that's not really good hand technique. So this time, try playing the first chord, lift your hand, and find the next chord. So let's try that together. B, D, F sharp, lift, D, F sharp, and B. And let's just go back and forth a couple times till we get that comfortable. Okay, now let's find our next position. So we're going to do the same thing again. We have F sharp and B on top and D on the bottom. So let's flip it upside down again. Keep the F sharp, keep the B, scooch your hand up, put the D on top. And here is your next position. Now let's go back to where we started and let's find these 3 positions. And that was a bit quick. Let me slow down. So first position, B, D, F sharp, D, F sharp, and B, F sharp, B, and D, and then we have one more up top, so that's B, D, and F sharp. And if you notice, that's the same we started with, B on the bottom, D in the middle, and F sharp on top. So once you see the same chord shape as what you started with, you know you're done and it's time to go down. So to recap, we go B, D, F sharp, D, F sharp, B, F sharp, B, D, and the last one is B, D, F sharp. Then you go down. And one other thing to keep in mind, once you have your top chord and you're ready to go down again, you're just doing the opposite. You're keeping your 2 bottom notes and you're going to take the top note, flip the chord upside down, and put it on the bottom. So you're always keeping 2 notes. And one other thing I just want to remind you of, once you find your triad notes, so we have B, D, and F sharp, it's always the same. You're never going to have a B minor triad with any other note. So just remember, it's the same 3 notes, you're just flipping the order. So let's start with right hand and let's practice those. Don't worry, we'll go nice and slow. So right hand, our first position, we have fingers 1, 3, 5. Next position, finger 1, 2, 5. Next position, 1, 3, 5 again. and back to 1, 3, 5 at the top. Now let's go down. Still 1, 3, 5. This is finger 2 in the middle, and 1, 3, 5 at the bottom. Okay, now let's do left hand, and then really quick after that, I'll tell you why there's finger 2 sometimes. So left hand, let's do the exact same thing. Our first position is B on the bottom, finger 5, D in the middle, finger 2, C, F sharp on top with finger 1. So this is our first position. Let's play that. Now we're going to take our bottom note, take the B, put it on top. Now we're going to take the D, put it on top. Now we're going to take the F sharp and put it on top. Okay, now F sharp's on top. Let's put it on the bottom. Take the D from the top, put it on the bottom. Take the B from the top and put it on the bottom. So now for left hand, let's just go over the fingers. The first one you play is 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1. This is 5, 2, 1, and 5, 3, 1 at the top. Going down, we have 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1, and 5, 3, 1 again. And let me tell you why there's different finger numbers. So if I played my chords hands together, which you don't have to, but just so you know, the first position we play is called root position. And it's called that no matter what. Even if you play it hands separate, it's still called this. So first is root position. The next position you play is called first inversion. And we play finger 2 in the right hand on first inversion. See, my finger 2 is free, but I'm using finger 2 here. Now, next up we have second inversion, and left hand plays finger 2 here. Right hand's back to finger 1, 3, 5. And then at the top we have 1, 3, 5 again. So, I don't want to overload you with too much information. Just remember so the first one you play is 1, 3, 5 in both hands. The next one is finger 2 in the right hand. The next is finger 2 in the left hand. And then you're both back to 1, 3, 5 at the top. And I'll explain why next time. I don't want to overload you with too much. So let's keep going down your lesson plan. Now we have this beautiful sort of sea foamy green book. And we have whatever it takes on, what page? Page 20. Why didn't I write that down? How rude of me. Page 20. Okay, so let's flip to that. And, stay, please. So I'm going to play this for you today, and all I want you to do is practice playing along with me because you did such a good job of this last week. A main focus we were just looking at was keeping a steady tempo. So that means no slowing down or speeding up. So I'm going to play this for you. If, Jaydon, you think that the speed I'm playing it at is a little too quick, there's a button down here. It kind of looks like a cog or a wheel. Click on that. It says settings. Click on click on settings. Click on playback speed. Click on custom, and then you'll see a little slidey bar, and you can change the speed of the video. So you can slow it down when I'm playing if it's too quick. Okay, so we are starting with A above middle C in the right hand and 2 A's below middle C in the left hand. So I'm going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to start on 3 because there's a little bit, we'll talk about what a pickup is after, but we're starting on 3. Just know that for now. So here's our speed. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay speed, excellent. If not, just slow it down, but I'm going to play it just a little bit quicker, and if you feel ready, you can challenge yourself to play it at this speed with me. So just listen to the speed. It'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's try it at that speed. We're starting on our A's again. If it's too quick, no worries, my friend. This can be what you work up to over the week, playing at that speed. So we're in on beat 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, now, just for giggles, I'm going to play it one more time, even quicker. If you can, play it with me. If you can't, that's okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, so there we go. That is our practice on whatever it takes. Now, the one thing I didn't really focus on is dynamics. So that can be your focus over the week, my friend. I think we highlighted them in your book. So your piano, forte, where does it change? Oh, wow, we're forte for a long time. Okay, actually, so you can totally add these in. They're not too tricky. We have piano, forte, and then, oh my gosh, forte all the way to the end when we're back to piano. So please add in your dynamics this week. Okay, moving down your lesson plan, we have Moonlight Melody now from your lesson book. That's this guy. Let's flip to page 27 in here. All right, so let's see. You sight read 2 lines of the song last week, and it says, please put the next 2 lines hands together. Oh, and add in your dynamics. So I will play dynamics with you on this one because that was a focus of ours. So let's look at... let's do the whole, well, I was going to say let's do the whole song hands separate, but you don't usually need to. You're usually pretty ready to go. So let's do the same thing. We'll go nice and slow, and then we'll speed it up a couple times. And like I said, if it's too slow, if it's too fast, you can slow it down. So in our left hand, we're starting with finger 3 on the G below middle C. In our right hand, we have 1 on middle C and 3 right above that. So if you see, my thumb in my right hand is on middle C, and my other thumb is on the B. So you're neighboring thumbs here. Okay, so we're in 3/4 time this time. So instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, of course. And the emphasis, which just means which beat is a little bit more important, is on the first beat. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they're all even, we're going to think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the reason we count like that is it just helps us keep our place in the music much more. If we know beat 1 is always the beginning of the measure, it's easier to find in our music. So, thumb on middle C in the right hand, thumb right below that in left. We'll go nice and slow, and let's do some sight reading. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'll give us 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Oh, look at me. I started off on, oh no, I did start the right. No, I thought I started wrong. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Try it just one more time. And I tried to play the dynamics. If you can't hear them on the video, sometimes it's a little tricky because the sound quality is not the best, but do your best for dynamics here. Let's try it once more from the beginning. Let's go just a tiny bit faster. 1, 2, 3, here we go. Now, I don't know if you caught this, but I slowed down at the very end on the last two, well, measure and a half there. I wonder if you know why that is. And if you don't know, that's okay. I'm going to tell you. So if you look at the very, very bottom of your page here, see where it says RIT, R-I-T? So that is short for a really fun word called retardando. Say it out loud when we say retardando. Now say it in a silly voice. Say retardando. Now say it in a British accent. Say retardando. Okay, I don't know how to do a British accent. Okay, good. So retardando, when you see it in music, it means slow down. So that's why I did that at the end for you. So, Jaydon, my friend, I would still love to hear you play Moonlight Melody next week so we can go through it. And if you have any questions, we can go through it. And of course, you need your sticker. We can't move on without that. But let's keep flipping here. Let's look at our new page, The Puppet Show. And that's on page, our new song, The Puppet Show, sorry, and that's on page 28. And here we're going over the idea of a half step. So just a quick reminder, I think you know what a half step is, but just in case, a half step is from one note up or down to the very next closest note. So the note I'm playing here is A. A half step up from A would be A sharp, and a half step down from A would be A flat. Now, here's where it gets just a little bit tricky. There are two places in our piano, I'll show you down here. Two places on our piano where we have two white notes in a row. Now, don't fall into the trap of thinking that half steps are only black notes. They're black notes and white notes. So B, for example, a half step up from B is just C, but a half step down from B is B flat. And here's a fun fact for you. I don't think we've talked about this yet. B sharp is the same thing as C, and C flat is the same thing as B. Just like E sharp is the same as F, and F flat is the same thing as E. Okay, so let's look at, you know what, we're gonna skip over line number 1, and let's just sight read line number 2 together, because line number 1's only one-handed in time, but line number 2, it's a little trickier. So, let's find our first note. Finger 2 in the right hand is starting on F above middle C. Finger 2 in your left hand is on F below middle C. Okay, so we'll just go. We have quarter notes, so our counting's nice and easy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 on each note. Let's try going slowly together through line number 2 of The Puppet Show, starting on finger 2 in the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, listen to that. Kind of a funky sound there. All right, so we'll say that's your sight reading. Now, I know you're a pretty awesome sight reader and a pretty awesome practicer, so I'm just going to say if you want to get the whole song, The Puppet Show, prepared for next week, you go for it. If you don't want to, please just prepare line number 2 that we did together just now. Done with that book. So next up, my friend, in your lesson plan is Jurassic Park. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of this here, but what I would like you to practice this week, please and thank you, is playing along with the recording on the computer. So you'll have to get mom or dad's help with that. Play it along with that. Now, with that said, if that's a little bit too quick, that's okay. I would like you to practice with a metronome, and I'll look up a metronome speed. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I'll put in your lesson plan a good speed, a good beats per minute, BPM, for you to practice with. Okay, the last thing we're going to do in this video is your theory, so go ahead and grab that. So we're all the way close to the back here on page 44. And we have, what are we doing? Oh, okay, so unfortunately there's not a whole heck of a lot I can go through with you on theory because I kind of have to see what you worked on. But just a reminder, accents. That's what we're working on here. So an accent is kind of like if you meet someone in real life with an accent, like a British accent or something. It's not that the people are more important. Everyone's the same amount of important. But if you hear someone with an accent, you're going to be like, huh, that's interesting. They're a little bit more interesting to listen to. I want to hear them a bit more. It's the same with music. So it doesn't mean necessarily that the notes are more important, but we kind of treat them just a little bit like they are. We want to hear them a bit more. So the notes they give us as accents on line 1. Here we have G and D in the left hand. And we said draw an accent above beat 1. So it should sound like this. Try play along with me, and then I'll go over and I'll mark it next week. So here's number 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Accent. 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 Rest. Accent. Now listen to me. I'll play it one more time, but I won't speak this time, and just listen to it. 1, 2, 3. So hopefully you heard the accents there. Let's do line number 2. I won't tell you the notes, but take a quick second to find them. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so our notes are G, B, and D in the right hand. Hopefully you have those, but if not, we'll work on it. So now we're accenting beat number 2. So it's going to feel a little different. Let's try together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And then we have a rest at the end. Okay, now we're 3. Almost done. We're back to G here. And now on number 3, it's beat number 4. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then on the last line of the page, you choose where to draw your accent marks. Please show me that next week, and we will go through that together. And then the very last thing in this book, I guess there's 2 whole pages left. But this dinosaur dance improv, so I don't know if you know what improv means, but it means it's short for improvisation, and that means sort of like making it up as you go. So we're going to do a little exercise with that. And we just have a couple more pages to get through, and then we'll get started on your new theory book. And just a quick reminder on your scales that we talked about at the beginning of this video to use your beautiful new red scale book, B minor scale, so that harmonic and melodic are going to be on page 50, and your triads are going to be on page 51. I'm 99% sure that's true. I'll double check, and if that's not true, I'll write the right page numbers in your lesson plan. So I hope you have a fantastic week. If you're not feeling well, I hope you feel better right away here. Happy practicing. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.